but always know that you're more powerful than them. You're 100 times more powerful than they don't have the threefold principle, the ability to neutralize, go in, direct energy, and to just fucking, it's like Peter Pan, man. It's just like totally connected to your thoughts and your feelings and your willpower. So the stronger that is, the more energy you're going to manipulate and conduct. I got to say too, it's the same with orgasms. It's the same with music. So, you know, when you really feel it, it fucking discharges into goosebumps. It's the same thing. So the better you perceive it, the better you feel into it, the better you will it, the more it conducts. And it's like plasma is intelligent, okay? And it like flows where you want it to go. And it flows with what resonates with it. And then it's pulled and conducted, electromagnetically harnessed through the positive current of the brain, the negative magnetic current of the heart, and then the will is what contorts it really and gives it form and frequency. But there are other ways to better target the energy as well. And that's through the hand chakras, okay? The finger chakras, little centripetal vortices, like in the little experiment I showed you, you felt it, you felt the charge pulsating. That was your finger chakras, little centripetal tornadoes coming out the fingertips, the palm and the wrist. Well, those currents coming off the brain and the heart literally transfer through the ley lines of the arms out the chakras of the fingers and the hands and the wrists. And you can manipulate, grab energy fields, spin toroids manually, nest them out into each other, harness more plasma, bring it into your field. It's literally like etheric tethers of plasma coming off your heart, all your chakras, your brain, your fingers, goes up like a hand, grabs a big old chunk of plasma out of the ether, and then just pulls it in. And that's what I started doing that eventually gave me a Kundalini awakening. Was first nesting, then feeding them. So yeah, dude.
Bring that up now, especially with the threefold principle. I'm really interested to see. One of the best things about that is that can be applied to any number of different things. And I've actually had some success with doing very small scale telekinesis myself. Actually, I have a little paper wheel that I've had some luck with getting it to spin. So I'm kind of curious.
That's cool.
I'm really curious to take the stuff you're talking about and, you know, apply it to, you know, not only the experiences of, you know, being able to fly and use those abilities in dreams and astral experiences, but also here in the 3D. I very much feel like a lot of those experiences we have in the astral and dreams and such like that are kind of like a training ground for learning how energy, learn how the energy flows and feels there, so that when we come back here, we have a better idea of, all right, that's how it felt when I used it there. Let's, you know, recreate that feeling in the body here, and I can replicate that. Or I can replicate those events. No, here.
You nailed it. You nailed it. I mean, and then greats like Tesla, that's what they were doing. They were catnapping, lucid dreaming throughout the day, manipulating the astral matter to get ahead of their formulas, their inventions, because the astral matter was instantaneously malleable with intention, feeling, and will. He was able to instantaneously work through equations and formulas, inventions, and then he would come back into 3D and apply that. That's what it's for. See, there's this big misunderstanding in the spiritual community. I don't know who the fuck put it out there, but they're like, the astral realm is bad. It's just human desires, and you're wasting your time being, well, it's an electrical charge, right? Consciousness is trying to ascend in octave levels. If you're trying to ground a charge into 3D and then up to like 6D, would you cut it in the middle? Would you cut out 4? This, you know, one of the steps of the ladder up? No, you wouldn't. So you're right, dude. That's how I perceive it. It's like a simulation that once we become lucid, we can use it to better our potential and our wisdom gathering here in the third dimension. So you're right. And it's just fun. It's just fun.
It can be a little freaky if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
one of the most vivid dreams I ever had. Well, recent ones that I can remember. I need to start taking better notes of this stuff. I've had so many vivid and lucid dreams that I don't remember them all by now. But the one that really sticks out to me, for something you said earlier reminded me of it. I somehow found myself in this kind of like a haunted house looking place. I only say it was haunted because it was, super dark, dilapidated, looked like something out of a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of ghosts everywhere. And this was around the time when I was really on the ball with doing my Leifa practicing, pretty regularly. And the big things that are associated with that school of Taoist magic are that storm energy, that dragon energy is used for weather shamanism, exorcism, and healing are three of the big ones that it's used for. And I'm just like, well, I'm in the house with all these ghosts. Let's get to work.
Fuck yeah, man. That's I can't explain to you how many times I will project out of body and travel inside the earth, or it's always like an underground scenario and oftentimes tunnels. And then I will come into an open area or a facility of sorts. It's usually half earth, half material, man-made, mechanized, but there's demonic entities just everywhere. And it's like a video game, dude. I liken it to the game Doom a lot. And to me, it's like these things are just testing me. It's almost, I don't know who's administering this, bro, but there is someone administering this because they will literally throw up text fields in my vision when I complete a task. Yeah, like this one time I defeated this mid-tier demonic entity I call the Dark Wizard. I have it up on my YouTube channel. But he was one of the first where I had to use a higher emotional resonance to defeat him. I couldn't just come at him with revenge and vengeance and hatred to destroy him with telekinesis. I actually had to hone gratitude and then create a vortex out of gratitude and then put it next to him, and it pulled him in. When it pulled him in, all of a sudden this giant +4 popped up in my entire vision. And it was like, bring, +4. And I was just like, I was more perturbed by that than the demonic entity. And it's not the first time. Like there's times where I'll meet entities in these states and then a giant, like elaborate, beautiful text, handwriting I've never seen before, kind of like elvish in nature, will pop up and give me the entity's name. And I'll be like, I'm always just like, who's fucking putting these words in my vision? Like, is there like a code, like an administrator? Like, is there an astral developer that's like designated for each little simulation? Like who? I don't know, but
the designer,
dude, I'm telling you, it's so fucking similar. A lot of times I'll project into a cityscape at night that will be much like GTA, and there'll be pink rings of fire that if I hover into will pop up holographic menus with different options of simulations I can enter. This is what I call the middle astral. It seems when you raise out of the lower astral in the hellish realms, you then come into this level where it's all just simulations, dude. It's like, I don't know if consciousness or God or angelic entities coded this, but something is coded this. It is literally the same thing as like VR, but it's like organic technology. It's like electromagnetics and consciousness, and I can't figure it out, but I've been trying to for the longest time. And then you can leave that level and you can go into your own simulation that's of subconscious thought forms, and you're kind of manipulating astral matter subconsciously, working through karma. That's where most people go when they sleep at night. Their astral body just lifts out. They don't remember the entire process of leaving the body. It's like a miniature death. The body shuts down, the organs shut down, they lift out with the astral body. They subconsciously play in a simulation. And then there's a select few people that are lucid, and they, like me, and they go where they go. And it's so insane. And then you can lift out of the astral realms too with what I call the mental plane, or the fifth dimension. And I've maybe been there maybe 5-6 times that I remember. But we're talking about memory here, which is key. We're traveling every single night, dude, every night. And the problem here is our energy centers aren't coherent. They're not conducting. They're not imploding. They're not passing the information. So when you nest back into your physical body and your nervous system, it doesn't transfer into your brain. So I just found that they are literally in symbiosis. The electrical conductivity is memory. It literally is. And so I began to expand into more and more energy centers, bring in more and more plasma, feed them, fill them out, get them to start coding themselves. And then all of a sudden I was lucid more, and then I could remember more. But I still have the problem, like you said before, I still have the problem like keeping the memory, unless it's really left an imprint. I really felt it. And then it will leave a lasting imprint. If it hit me on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, I'll remember it forever. Like the times I was in craft and UFOs and met entities, but all these little like excursions out into the astral realm, I don't keep the memory very long unless it's lasting. But like, you come back in your body and it literally goes like in whole, like it's just gone every 2 seconds, another chunk gone, then it's just completely gone. And the problem is we're not conductive enough. If we were, we would keep more of the memory.
It tends to be the extremes, either the extremely subjectively good or bad. Like I've had dreams I clearly remember where I have been killed in several different ways in several different dreams. I clearly remember waking up and going, "Oh, I still have a body. Okay, all right." Okay.
Yeah, some of them are so severe. I know what you mean. I remember smelling powder burns on my flesh before by getting shot in the face, and like intricate. This one time I got ran over by a semi truck, a tractor trailer. Like for some reason I got clipped by the back wheels of the trailer, and I remember the first thing that hit me was the smell of meat. And then it just was black. It was like I smelled my organs, dude. And then, and I was just like, what kind of fucking dream is that? Like, really? So yeah, we're fucking with this gray area here too, where we could be perceiving memories from a past life or something as well. So, you know what? Some people have all this shit mapped out, every single dimension. They have all the answers. But I'm just a dude that woke up these abilities and started traveling. And I'm just, as the situations happen, I'm having to like learn them. And so I can start becoming more lucid and conscious with my travel. And that's where I'm at now, is like trying to lock down coordinates. So like with the Merkaba spin, that changed everything. When I started spinning out of body, it then became a much more tangible vehicle. It was like obviously an organic, anti-gravitic, multidimensional spaceship that was driven and steered by the attention, the feeling, and the will. The first thing that I did was put my attention like a mile behind me, and it was like the fucking Merkaba around me just targeted it, and then I felt into it. And it's connected to your energy centers, so it's very hard to explain. But that's literally what drives it. Now, if I had amazing coordinates, then I would go there. But instead, I just went into like this crazy, chaotic situation. So that's where I'm at now. Is like, where the fuck do I get coordinates? Okay, like who can I talk? Who's the administrator? Like, give me some fucking. How do I get to the next level?